Welcome back to yWild's videos. Once again my interest was aroused by a so-called magnetic generator. Before we start, let's assemble it first and then see if it can work. Okay, we are finished, and you may have seen a machine like this before. The model is widely used and due to its complexity gives the impression that it could work. As you can see, it consists of a large number of magnets, all with the same polar orientation, embedded in the surface of a cylinder. The resulting magnetic rings are always shifted vertically by a small angle. The system is stimulated by a grid of magnets sitting in a plastic block whose rows are also staggered, but here each column by half the distance of an intermediate space of a pair of magnets. Someone holds the plastic block close to the cylinder, and the cylinder starts a steadily accelerating rotation. The longer the block is near, the faster the generator spins. Since this simple design has not yet found widespread use in the industry, we must expect a deception here. First, let's look at the magnetar on the cylinder. The circular and staggered design makes it difficult for us to understand, so we peel them open and spread them out on a plane. The rows of magnets are always shifted by such a small factor that one hardly notices them spread out. We omit the small displacement in this video and first deal with one of the rows of the cylinder and one row of the plastic block. The reason is that the large number of magnets in a corresponding arrangement makes a graphic representation difficult to understand. A review of this takes place in the next video. So, we see a row of magnets below, all oriented with their blue south pole up. That's why we neglect the red north pole, which have no influence in this discussion and only show the magnets in blue. We see the same thing above in the red representation of the magnets of the plastic block. In between there are two horizontal wave paths, one above another, which are shifted by half a wavelength in relation to each other. We'll see why in a moment. As shown in my previous videos, I translate the displacement caused by magnetic forces into a representation that uses gravity instead. Gravity is well known to us all, so it doesn't take Newton to see what happens when a ball is confronted with a sloping path. The ball rolls down. The magnetic force pulls magnets towards each other as the ball is drawn into the hole. It is easy to understand what happens when the north and south pole meet, as well as the north pole to north pole reaction. As you can see, the red ball associated with the magnet above falls into the trough because the north pole and south pole attract each other. If we look at the confrontation of two north poles, then force has to be applied to make the ball go up the hill. The poles repel each other. The waves are hills and valleys given as a landscape for the ball, and together these are the representation of the magnetism between the magnets. The upper wave path symbolizes the repulsion from North Pole to North Pole. The lower wave path symbolizes the attraction from South Pole to North Pole. If a permanently self-sustaining and energy-harvesting constellation of magnets were possible, then we would be able to find them here. Fine-tuning would also be possible, as we now see what the invisible magnetic field hides from us. I have identified 4 basic combinations for this experiment, which I will show now one after another. Let's start by placing the magnets on the plastic block all the same distance apart as the magnets on the cylinder, and they should all be north poles. The result is that the magnets would behave like a single magnet. There is no permanent movement. In the second experiment, we move the magnets a little closer together so that they are tighter than the magnets in the cylinder. It seems as if the forces hinder each other. Balls that are on the slope cannot roll down, otherwise other balls will be forced to roll up. Not a good combination either. In the third experiment, the distances are again equal to the cylinder, but now we alternate north poles and south poles in the plastic block. As a result, we can see that here too a situation arises in which the effects of magnetic fields are too much in the way of each other to result in an accelerating movement. As expected, in the fourth experiment we will move the magnets a little closer together. Here too, it can be seen that red and blue balls prevent each other from rolling into the hollow because the same number of balls would always have to roll up the hill. As a result, we find that a symmetrical arrangement of forces of attraction and repulsion, even if we combine them wildly, cannot lead to a permanently accelerating and self-sustaining movement. In a future video, I will try to translate the entire structure of the cylinder and plastic block into the gravitational representation, but I am afraid that the result will remain the same as well. And the overview will then suffer even more. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel if you like, and enjoy my next videos.